Hey there, how's it going? My name's Christian with Plan Your Federal Retirement. And if you've ever wondered what choices that you have with the TSP at retirement, this is going to be the video for you. I get asked this question a lot working with clients one on one, helping them plan their retirement to and through retirement. And we get to the point where it's like, okay, I know what my pension's going to be. I have a plan for Social Security. I know that I have, X amount of dollars in my TSP and other investments. What do I do with the TSP now that we're going to be in that retirement mode? What's going to be the best choice? So for today, I want to focus on what are all of the options that you have. And then at the end, you can kind of see, okay, well, which choice might be the best for you? It really is going to be a case by case basis. It's really going to be what are all the pros and cons that we're going to talk about today for you to make that choice? So the first option that you have with the TSP, number one, is just to leave it, right? That's always one of the options that you have. The list that we'll talk about today is not in order of what I think is the best option. It's just the list of the different options that you have. So again, number one, we can just leave it inside the TSP. Pros with this, the TSP is a phenomenal savings tool. It's a really good, efficient way to save money while you're working, get the match, dollar cost average in. I like the limited investment choices. I'm a fan sometimes with the life cycle funds. I've talked about some of my griefs with the life cycle funds, but some of the good things about them. Low costs, low fees inside the TSP. It's a really good tool. And for some, leaving it inside the TSP can make a lot of sense. The second option that you have could be a lump sum. We call this put it all on black, right? You go out and take all the money out of your TSP as a lump sum and pay the taxes. And now it's just going to sit in a bank account. Boy, I would not recommend this, right? Doing a lump sum out of the TSP for 99.9% of everybody here. I'd be off your Christmas list that year because of all the taxes that would incur. It could be pushing you in multiple brackets above the bracket that you're in. So we have to be mindful if we were to just take all of it out as a lump sum that there's going to be taxes there. Maybe not the best choice, but it is a choice. The third option that you have would be periodic payments, periodic withdrawals. So this could be monthly, quarterly, or even annually that you're setting up on the TSP website, those periodic withdrawals. And you can change this, you can stop this, you can increase this, you can decrease this. So you've got options there. If you start out a little heavy and you want to decrease it, or if you vice versa, not taking out enough, you can increase that. So we're just going to start taking out those periodic withdrawals. A lot of times this would be on a monthly basis. So you just want to make sure that you have federal taxes withheld from that at your federal tax bracket that you'll be in. You want to make sure you run a quick tax calculator to see what bracket you'll be in. By having periodic withdrawals, now you're going to have that monthly income that comes in instead of more sporadic withdrawals out of the TSP. I like the consistency of the income, especially if you've been used to a full career of getting paid every 2 weeks. And now your pension's going to come in once a month. You can have a TSP distribution come in another part of the month. So it's simulating what you were making before retiring and having that every 2 weeks income coming in. The fourth option that you have available to you would be the annuity option. This is where we've talked a lot about the annuity versus the pension when we're talking about your FERS pension. And we are very cautious to use the word annuity when we're referring to the FERS pension. And the reason why is because of the TSP annuity choice that you have. The TSP annuity would be MetLife, and you put a portion or all of your money inside of the MetLife annuity that's inside of the TSP. You lock that money up and they guarantee you income payments for the rest of your life. Sounds good, but within side of that, it's very rigid and that money is locked up, so we can't undo this choice. Sometimes we're recommending annuities to clients outside of the TSP annuity choice. And when that annuity comes back, we can review it. We have a 10-day free look period. That's the law requiring at least 10 days to review the annuity. Inside of the TSP, however, there is no 10-day free look period. Once you've submitted that application, you decide you want to move forward on an TSP annuity, you can't get out of it. It's irreversible. So we always want to hit the pause button on irreversible choices that we make. I've never recommended the TSP annuity. I just don't see it being the best option that you have out there, but it is one of those options, so had to make it to the list. The fifth option that you have available would be a transfer. And this would be a transfer to an IRA, an individual retirement account. You can do a full transfer. You take all the money out of the TSP. You could do a partial transfer where some of that money goes to the IRA. This is tax free when you do a transfer, and that money goes directly from the TSP to an IRA, a traditional IRA. It's a tax free transfer. You do have to report it on your tax return, but it is not a taxable event that gets triggered when you transfer directly from the traditional TSP to a traditional IRA. Sometimes people refer to this as a rollover or a direct rollover. We've talked about a few clients in the past where they've gotten burned using the term rollover instead of transfer. So I always will say use transfer because it doesn't get messed up when we make this happen. A rollover could potentially trigger some taxes that we intentionally didn't want to if not done properly. So we always want to use the word transfer when we're talking about transferring money from the TSP to an IRA. Pros and cons with doing this when it's in an IRA, we've got a lot more investment choices, a lot more control. You can work with a financial advisor to help you with that investment allocation for you. This is going to allow for more tax planning. So we can do Roth conversions, we can do qualified charitable distributions, other fun tax planning things that we can do. We also, from a distribution standpoint, have a little bit more flexibility that we do instead of inside of the TSP. In particular, in this inside of the TSP, there's something called proportionate distributions. Proportionate distributions. So inside the TSP, let's just say, just for fun, that you had 50% of your money was in the G fund, and let's say 50% of your money was in the C fund, just oversimplifying it here. And let's say you wanted to take out $10,000 out of the TSP, $10,000 distribution. Well, what's going to happen under the proportionate distribution rules is 5,000 is going to come from the G fund and 5,000 is going to come from the C fund. Seems pretty straightforward, doesn't seem like a big deal. The only problem is one of the rules with the investments is we never want to sell our investments at a loss. We never want to sell our investments when the market is down. And so while the market is up, great, we can start taking distributions and sell out of the C fund. But when the market goes down and there's a downturn, there's a correction, you really don't want to take distributions out of the C fund. And so in that case, the proportionate distribution rules for a lot of people can really mess up a lot of their planning in retirement. It's not the end of the world, but it really is limiting. So we have to have a good plan for how do we avoid proportionate distribution rules. One of those could be a partial transfer, a full transfer to an IRA. So again, what's going to be the right option for you? Not sure. We got to go through your unique situation to determine this, but these are really the five main options that you have inside of the TSP when it comes to retirement. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you have questions related to this, feel free to leave your questions below in the comment section. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you get our latest videos and content that we put out. And until next time, happy planning.